Hey, how you guys doing? It's Pastor Josh here. And first of all, I want to tell you that I miss you and can't wait to see you in person again. These have been trying and uncertain times, or as we've been saying at the church, these are strange times. And we thank God that we have the hope of Jesus that guides us through every trial, every obstacle, and every hardship. His promise of never leaving us nor forsaking us becomes so necessary and appropriate in times like these. So be encouraged. We will get through this, and by this time you may be wondering what's next. You've noticed that more people are on the streets, some businesses have begun to open, and you may be wondering, when will we return on campus? Let me tell you, you are not alone. Our staff and leaders have been praying and seeking the guidance of God to make the right decision. And as a result of prayer and seeking counsel from the scriptures and other pastors and just interactions amongst brothers and sisters, we have come up with 3 guiding principles that will help us prepare and that will lead us as we move forward. So, number one. Downey First Christian Church never closed. This is true. Granted, we stopped meeting in person, but we are not closed. In fact, we currently have 7 times more, we have grown 700% on online engagement since the time of the pandemic. Our growth groups have never closed. We have about 30 new people that have connected through growth groups since we stopped meeting in person. Our church continues being engaged in serving as volunteers have been checking in with those who are not connected through groups, and we've given groceries to over 4,500 families from the moment we stopped meeting until now. And giving to the ongoing needs of our church ministry are currently at a healthy level. So we have definitely never closed. Now, through all this, we think that we have learned something so important. That is that the church is not the building, but it is the people. Put another way, we've said this before, we are the church. We don't go to church. We are the church. If Jesus told Peter that the gates of hell would not prevail against the church, that means that certainly COVID-19 won't prevail either. So DFCC has never closed. That's number 1. Number 2, we want to return soon, but we want to return the right way. Now, you may have heard that about 1,200 churches will hold in-person services on May 31st in California, and we believe that that is too soon for us. You see, if it were up to me, I would have opened yesterday, but it is our belief that if we gather on campus too soon, we will jeopardize the health of our church family and hurt our testimony to our community. So, as you know, church services are not really conducive to social distancing, so we want to make sure that we are ready to implement the guidelines required to remain safe for you and your guests. So, we love you, and we don't want anyone to have a bad experience or get sick as a result of meeting physically. So, we want to return soon, but we want to return safely. So, I ask for your prayers for wisdom as we set a re-entry date in the next few days. So that's number 2. Number 3, since we are waiting on the Lord to show us when to return, I ask that you remain flexible as our plans remain fluid. Please stay open to future changes, and we promise to give you plenty of notice as to when we will begin in-person services. Now, I know that's a lot, but in the meantime, I want to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, continue to connect online. God has given us a tremendous tool to connect with others. Invite others to watch, share the website, our Facebook page, and the Sunday service videos. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to ask you to continue connecting through your growth groups. This is a great opportunity to grow and be encouraged. If you are not in a group, sign up for one today at downeyfirst.org. All our groups are using the Zoom app, so it's very safe. In fact, using Zoom, we invite you to come together, the whole church, every Monday evening at 6:30 so that we can pray together for about 30 minutes and just pray about the future decisions that we're making as to reopen the church. And so I want to invite you to join us on that. It's every Monday until we reopen at 6:30 through Zoom. And number 3, I want to ask you to continue to give and serve our city. The light of Christ is really shining in our city through DFCC and our food help ministry. So I ask you to continue to give to meet the needs of all our ministries. While many of you were accustomed to giving your tithes and offerings in person, I want to remind you that you can continue your faithful generosity through the link on our website. Remember, our church remains open. We long to gather again in person, and we will do so as soon as we believe that God is leading us to. So let's continue being the church, even while we can't be at church yet. And I want to say that it is an honor for me to be your pastor. I love you, I miss you, and I thank you for all that you do for the kingdom. Please know that you are on our minds every day. We will get through this, I promise. The best is yet to come. Have a great day.